Hello girls, today I would like to share with you the solutions of our homework. First, we will solve together problem C12. You find C12 in chapter 2, motion in one dimension. So first we need to analyze what we know and what we need to find. The text says that the penguin starts with velocity of 2 meters per second and accelerates to a velocity of 4 meters per second. I will draw a little diagram showing the motion. So we start at this point. I don't know exactly the position of the penguin because they didn't give us positions, but I know that the velocity is 2 meters per second. Then the penguin reaches to another point. Again, I don't know where exactly that point is on the number line, but I know that the velocity at that point is 4 meters per second. I will call them V1 and V2 for now. You can choose any other symbols. I also know that this part of the journey takes, as they say, 4 seconds. So t equals to 4 seconds. Okay, so this is the first part of the journey. What happens then? Then the penguin slows down to a stop. So from this point, the penguin slows down to a stop, which means it reaches to another point where its velocity is 0. And that journey, that part of the journey, takes the penguin 3 seconds. Here, I found it. 3 seconds. So it moves in this direction, and it takes him 3 seconds to complete this part. Okay. Then it reverses direction, accelerating to 3 meters per second in the opposite direction over a period of 4 seconds, which means now we're moving in the opposite direction. We move to another point. I'm not sure where that point is. I will just choose a point on the number line. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. So I move from this point to this point. Okay? So the penguin moves now from this point to this point where its velocity becomes 3 meters per second in the opposite direction, which means the velocity is negative because we're going towards the negative direction. Okay, so from velocity equals to 0 to velocity equals to negative 3 meters per second, and that takes the penguin 4 seconds to cover. And the question is, draw the penguin's velocity versus time graph. Alright, so what I'll do first is I will sketch the graph for myself, and then I will make a better graph later on. So here's my graph. The penguin starts at time 0, and the velocity at that time is, according to the text, 2 meters per second. So this is my first point at 2. Then 4 seconds pass. And the velocity at time equals to 4 seconds is 4 meters per second. Okay. So it should be somewhere in here. Okay. Next. 3 seconds pass. I don't use this point. Time is 3. it's 3 additional seconds. So 1, 2, 3. Or in other words, when time is equals to 7 seconds, at that time, my velocity is 0. All right. And then 4 more seconds pass. 1, 2, 3, 4. And time, oh, excuse me. And time is 11. The velocity there is 3, but -3. So now I realize that I made my graph too large and I didn't include any negative numbers. I do that. And I add a negative part to my graph where I can include negative velocities. And this is my point, the last point. All that is left to do is to join the points from the first to the second, that's the first phase. Then from the second to the third, that's the second blue phase. And from the third to the fourth, that's the red phase. All that is left is to redraw my graph to make it neat. And I finished solving the problem. Thank you very much for listening.